Greetings. Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Thursday, July 21, 2022. For today's editorial, Philippines' Salty Problem. Most Filipinos probably did not know that the country is a major importer of salt, but they do now, thanks to a bill filed in the House of Representatives by a party-list lawmaker. We find the proposal interesting and worth exploring further, but the Philippines' salty problem is perhaps not quite as simple as House Bill 1976 portrays it. In a statement last Friday, Kabayan Party List Representative Ron Salo explained that he filed House Bill 1976, quote, in pursuit of a comprehensive plan for the development of the local salt industry and the grant of incentives to salt farmers and exporters. According to Salo, the Philippines imports about 550,000 metric tons of salt per year, or approximately 93% of the country's total demand, which seems to him to be quite ironic in light of the fact that this is an archipelago and has 36,000 kilometers of coastline. To resurrect the Philippine salt industry, which historically has been made up almost entirely of small producers, the centerpiece of Salo's bill is the creation of an interagency body headed by the Department of Trade and Industry and Department of Agriculture, to be called the Administration for Salt Industry Development, Revitalization, and Optimization, or ASINDERO. Whatever else might be said about House Bill 1976, Representative Salo and his staff have certainly demonstrated that they are peerless when it comes to exercising the Filipino talent for naming things in a manner that will result in a catchy acronym. Salo said that the proposed measure seeks to promote indigenous salt-making technology, as well as seeking to harness current technological advances in salt-making. It would also help to protect artisanal salt farmers by providing avenues where they will be able to market their products, including non-iodized salt, both to domestic and import customers. There are a couple of issues involved here. Indeed, we agree with Representative Salo that it is ridiculous that the Philippines should have to import salt, one of the most basic mineral commodities, which is available to almost every country on Earth in virtually infinite quantities, if only the means to efficiently harvest it exist. There is no reason why the Philippines cannot produce salt in quantities many times over our domestic demand for it, and developing the means to at least produce what we need and end this particular import dependence should be prioritized. The revelation of the Philippines' imported salt dependence should not, however, inspire anyone in Congress or the administration to attempt drastic action to restrict imports, at least not now, as that would very likely cause a deeper inflation crisis and potentially even a food shortage. We frankly have much bigger problems at the moment. Cheap imported salt is helping to keep food prices in check to some degree. A second and more fundamental issue that the proposed salt law does not address is the unfavorable economics of salt. Even though salt is a critical commodity, because of its fantastic abundance, it is one of extremely low value. The reason small salt producers seem to have disappeared is that salt production is only profitable at a very large scale. Artisanal salt, as Salo described it, does have a market niche if the product is sufficiently unique. For example, the pink salt that is mined in parts of the Himalayas. But that is not the foremost problem. Supplying regular, non-unique salt in massive quantities is. The only way to achieve the scale that can meet the requirement profitably is to either create or attract very large salt-producing operations or to consolidate large numbers, probably hundreds at a time, of individual salt farmers into single large cooperative entities. The implication of House Bill 1976 that the quaint ideal of the hardworking small salt farmer can somehow be preserved is a fallacy. Because of the low value of salt as a commodity, a single producer can never hope to earn anything more than a subsistence income unless his efforts are combined with many others. House Bill 1976 is at least the start of an interesting idea and one that should be pursued further. But it should be pursued with a great deal more realism and sensible appreciation of the economics involved than its initial version indicates. And that's the editorial for Thursday, July 21, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And listen to the voice of the times.
Our longest trusted English newspaper since 1898. Now available digitally. Computer. Order the Manila Times Digital Edition. Subscribed. Get the Manila Times Digital Edition for less than 2 pesos and 50 centavos per day when you sign up for 1 year. The Manila Times, news source of choice, trusted since 1898.